In 2013, scientists discovered human hair in a cave in South Africa, dating back 257,000 years. This makes it the oldest human hair ever found. But how could it have survived to this day, given that hair typically decomposes in less than 100 years? The key lies in the surprising location of the discovery. It was found in hyena feces. Hyenas are carnivorous mammals resembling dogs. This means that, somehow, a hyena roaming Africa more than 200,000 years ago consumed a tuft of human hair. Scientists suggest that the hyena likely preyed not only on the hair, but also on the person it belonged to. However, thanks to this tragic event from the distant past, researchers today can learn a great deal about the characteristics of humans who lived hundreds of thousands of years ago. Unlike bones, hair is a fragile material that does not withstand the test of time, making this discovery exceptionally rare. The preservation of both the hair and the feces at the discovery site was likely due to the cave's unique conditions, which helped protect the organic material from external influences for such an extended period. Scientists have determined that the hair belonged to an ancient representative of Homo sapiens. This aligns with other evidence indicating that our species has inhabited this region of Africa for hundreds of thousands of years. This discovery also adds to the growing body of evidence that Africa is the cradle of humankind, where our ancestors first evolved and developed the traits that define us today. This is just one of many remarkable findings made by scientists in the 21st century. In this video, we will showcase several more fascinating examples. Enjoy watching. SHIMAO, the ancient megacity of China. The discovery of the ancient city of SHIMAO in 2011 marked a significant breakthrough in the study of early Chinese civilization. Located in northern China, SHIMAO is one of the largest and most complex archaeological sites of the Neolithic era, dating back over 4,000 years. Initially, researchers believed that SHIMAO was merely a small settlement. However, as excavations continued, it became clear that it was a vast fortress city covering an area of more than 4 square kilometers. The city was surrounded by multiple layers of stone walls and featured a sophisticated layout, including palatial structures, residential districts, and large public spaces. The presence of such an advanced urban structure and monumental architecture suggests that SHIMAO was a highly organized society with centralized authority. One of the most remarkable aspects of SHIMAO is its intricate stone carvings and numerous jade artifacts found throughout the site. Jade objects, often associated with elite status and ritual significance, indicate that SHIMAO was not only a political and economic hub, but also a cultural and religious center. Furthermore, the city's fortifications, including massive walls and watchtowers, suggest that SHIMAO was built for defensive purposes. This points to the possibility of conflicts with neighboring regions, challenging previous assumptions that early Chinese civilization during this period was relatively peaceful. The Devil's Trail. This refers to a series of mysterious ancient footprints discovered near the Roccamonfina volcano in southern Italy. These tracks have puzzled scientists and intrigued locals for years, giving rise to various theories about their origin and significance. The footprints, which appear human, were imprinted in solidified volcanic ash and were first identified by modern researchers in 2001. They are located on the steep slopes of the extinct Roccamonfina volcano, and their preservation is astonishing. Scientists estimate them to be around 350,000 years old. This makes them among the oldest known human footprints in the world. The name Devil's Trail originates from local legends. For centuries, the region's inhabitants believed that the footprints were left by the devil himself as he wandered down the volcanic slopes. This legend likely emerged because the tracks lead downward on a dangerously steep incline, a path that would have been difficult and risky for an ordinary person. Instead of attributing them to a mortal, the locals saw them as the work of the devil. However, modern science offers a different explanation. Researchers believe that the footprints were left by ancient humans exploring the area shortly after a volcanic eruption. The ash was still soft at the time, allowing them to leave imprints that later hardened and remained preserved for thousands of years. For scientists, this discovery provides crucial evidence that early humans not only navigated challenging terrains, but also possessed enough curiosity to explore an active volcanic landscape. The Stones of Stonehenge, New Discoveries. One of the most common conspiracy theories about Stonehenge revolved around the origin of its stones. Many wondered how they ended up in southern England, where no similar rock formations exist. In 2020, researchers were able to precisely identify the quarries in Wales from which the distinctive bluestones used in the construction of Stonehenge were sourced over 4,000 years ago. This means that the builders undertook an enormous effort to transport these massive blocks over 200 kilometers to the site of the monument. Scientists discovered remnants of tools and platforms used for extracting and moving the bluestones. The quarries contained natural vertical cracks in the rock, which ancient workers skillfully exploited by inserting wooden wedges to separate the stone blocks. The stones were then likely lowered onto wooden sleds and transported by groups of people. The discovery of these quarries not only solved the long-standing mystery of the bluestone's origin, but also provided insight into the ingenuity of the ancient builders behind this great monument. Ancient Roman Villa. In 2015, a British homeowner hired workers to build a playground for his children near his house. However, during the construction, the builders uncovered an ancient find nearly 2,000 years old, the remains of a Roman villa. Inside, they discovered one of the most intricate and well-preserved mosaics ever found in Britain, along with pottery and coins. The mosaic depicted scenes from classical mythology. The level of craftsmanship and detail suggests that the villa belonged to a wealthy and influential individual, possibly a high-ranking Roman official or a prosperous local landowner who had adopted Roman customs and lifestyle. This discovery demonstrates that even far from major Roman cities, members of the elite built luxurious homes that reflected their cultural and social status. Erebus and Terror. The story of the ships Erebus and Terror is one of the most mysterious in Arctic exploration. In 1845, two British naval vessels, commanded by John Franklin, embarked on an expedition to chart the Northwest Passage, a sea route through the Arctic Ocean. The expedition ended in disaster, and the fate of Franklin and his crew remained unknown for more than a century and a half. The Erebus and Terror were well equipped for the journey. Their hulls were reinforced, and they carried provisions for an extended voyage. In the summer of 1845, the ships entered the Arctic, and after being last seen by European whalers in July of that year, they disappeared into the icy expanse. For many years, search expeditions were conducted, but only scattered evidence was found. A note left by the crew in a stone cairn, accounts from indigenous Inuit people, and a few abandoned artifacts. The main theory suggests that the ships became trapped in the ice near King William Island, where they remained for several years. Eventually, due to starvation and disease, the crew abandoned the vessels and attempted to reach safety on foot, but all perished in the harsh Arctic conditions. Despite numerous efforts to locate the ships, their whereabouts remained a mystery for over a century. A breakthrough came in the 21st century when a private Canadian company resumed the search. Using modern technology such as sonar and underwater drones, researchers discovered the wreck of Erebus in 2014, submerged near King William Island. The ship was remarkably well preserved, with much of its structure intact. This discovery was a major sensation and helped solve one of the greatest mysteries of Arctic exploration. 2 years later, in 2016, the wreck of Terror was found about 100 kilometers from Erebus. This ship was in even better condition, with much of its interior still intact. The discovery of both vessels provided invaluable information about Franklin's expedition and the crew's final days. These findings also reignited investigations into the causes of the expedition's failure. Historians continue to study new evidence to reconstruct the full story. The Staffordshire Hoard, the greatest discovery of Anglo-Saxon gold. The Staffordshire Hoard is an incredible collection of treasures discovered in July 2009 by a metal detectorist named Terry Herbert. The find was made in an ordinary field in Staffordshire, England. Dating back to the 7th century AD, the hoard consists of more than 3,500 items, including gold and silver artifacts, many of which are intricately decorated with precious stones. The gold alone weighs over 5 kilograms. Among the discovered artifacts are sword hilts, fragments of helmets, Christian crosses, various accessories, and ornaments. This suggests that these objects once belonged to high-ranking warriors or nobility. The craftsmanship displayed in the hoard is exceptional, featuring intricate patterns and animal motifs. The presence of Christian symbols also reflects the growing influence of Christianity in England during its transition from paganism. The origin and purpose of the hoard remain a topic of debate among historians. Some researchers believe it was royal treasure hidden during wartime, while others suggest it may have been a collection of war trophies buried after a significant battle. Since its discovery, the Staffordshire hoard has been carefully studied and is now housed in several museums across the UK. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments, and spread the video with your friends. See you next time.